Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. Hello, everyone. Today, Marco, what are we talking about?
Well, today we are not really in the best mood.
What do you mean?
We're kind of sad. We're kind of nervous. We're not feeling very well. Yeah, it's a cloudy day. Maybe that's why.
The blues.
The blues. So, that's what we're talking about today. We're going to have a lot of different descriptive words to express maybe feeling sad, or maybe you're angry, or you're nervous, or something like that.
Okay, well, this is a very useful lesson. Hopefully you're not feeling this way, but if you have to talk about someone who is, I've got lots of words for you. But first, we're going to preview a couple in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so today on Vocabulary Preview, we're going to look at two words. And the first one is a way of saying that you feel sad. So basically, I'm feeling down.
Okay, down. You might have heard this before because it's the opposite of the word up.
Exactly.
So you're not feeling up, happy, looking up. You're feeling down. This is another word for sad, like Marco said.
Or you can also say, I'm a bit down today, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit down today. Or you look really down. Are you okay?
Yeah, so you look sad. Are you? Is everything okay? So down. So now another feeling or a way that a person is feeling, maybe that person is grouchy.
Would you please stop talking so loud, Marco?
I think you have...
I'm seriously.
Don't be grouchy, Catherine. Jeez.
No, so grouchy is a way someone acts, usually when they're in a bad mood.
Right. So it's not like really angry. You're not angry, but you're not very happy either.
And you're not very nice to people. So there's a very famous TV character called Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. Look for him on YouTube or Yoku. And he's very, very good for learning about this feeling, grouchy, because he's a grouchy guy.
Yeah, he's always angry or never happy, basically.
Right, he's always complaining about something. So that word again is grouchy.
All right, so after taking a look at these two words, we're ready now to listen to our dialogue for the first time. Let's see what this dialogue is about, if maybe they're grouchy or maybe just sad.
Fine.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Carrie, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I just got off the phone with my boyfriend. He's always getting upset and losing his temper over nothing. It's so hard to talk to him at times.
Maybe it's just that he's stressed out from working or something. He does have a pretty nerve-wracking job, you know.
Yeah, but he's always in a really foul mood. I tried to find out what's bothering him or get him to talk about his day, but he always shuts down and brushes me off.
Men are like that, you know. They can feel nervous, anxious, or on edge, and the only way they can express it is by trying to hide it through aggressiveness.
I guess you're right. What do you think I should do? He wasn't always this grouchy, you know.
Talk to him, try to cheer him up when he's down, and if that doesn't work, I say get rid of him and get a new one.
You are something else, you know that.
All right, so two girls talking about guys. I guess guys have a bad temper sometimes, right?
I think anyone can have a bad temper, but we're talking today about one of the boyfriend of one of these girls who has a very bad temper and has been very grouchy recently.
And that's why she's feeling a bit down. So let's take a look at those words now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so in today's language takeaway, we've got some wonderful words for you. Words that are very good for describing stress or having anxiety. And the first of these words is something you hear all the time, especially with young people.
Right, somebody is stressed out.
Oh my gosh, Marco, I'm so stressed out. I have 10 homework assignments to do and softball practice, and my mom wants me to help cook dinner tonight.
Wow, you really are stressed out.
I am. Well, I don't have any homework, and I don't live with my mom. But being stressed out is usually something you feel when you have too much stuff to do.
So maybe you can be stressed out because of school, like in your case, or maybe at work you have a lot of things to do or a project to finish, right?
Exactly. And I just want to point out here that you can say I'm stressed or I'm feeling stressed. But commonly in spoken English, so when you're talking to your friends, you hear this much more often, stressed out.
Stressed out. He's really stressed out lately. All right. So we're stressed out, or another word that kind of means the same is This is nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking. So nerves are those things in our body that help us feel things, right? And so something that racks our nerves makes us very, very tense, very anxious, very uncomfortable.
Okay, so it makes you very nervous.
Right. So there are some movies that are nerve-wracking. For example, suspense movies like Hitchcock's movies like Psycho or The Birds.
Or like horror, like maybe Saw.
Ooh, nerve-wracking. Also, some people think that roller coasters are nerve-wracking. They're very, very anxious when they ride roller coasters.
Right. So let's listen to a couple of more examples of in different situations where we can use this phrase nerve-wracking.
Example 1.
I think being a doctor is one of the most nerve-wracking jobs in the world.
Example 2.
Skydiving was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of my life. I almost had a heart attack.
Example 3.
The final match between Brazil and Italy was incredibly nerve-wracking.
And there's another way to describe this feeling. Again, it's a little bit different, but very, very similar. We can say someone is feeling on edge.
On edge. So this person was feeling on edge, but what does that mean exactly? You're like at the edge?
Why do you have to ask so many questions? Okay, listen. This is basic. Okay, Marco?
All right, all right.
Are you
Jeez,
mocking me?
on edge today?
All right,
Wow.
so someone who is on edge is easily angered, right? So it's very easy to make this person upset or angry. Someone who just quit smoking might be on edge. That means it's very, very easy to get them to be upset.
Wow. So yeah, you are on edge, right?
Exactly. He's on edge, or he seems on edge, doesn't he?
Okay, very good. Wow, these 3 words that we've just looked at are really interesting and very, very useful. I guess you can describe many different situations or a person that's going through these feelings, right?
Absolutely. I think there is 1,000 ways to describe being nervous or anxious or upset. So maybe we should take another listen to today's dialogue and figure out how exactly we use these words. And we come back.
Hi, are you ready to listen to our story? Today, we are going to talk about emotions, specifically how we feel when we are down. Maybe you've had one of those days when nothing seems to go right. You feel heavy, unmotivated, or just plain sad. It's a feeling that can come and go, but when it hits, it can make everything seem much harder than it really is. Now, let's think about this. How do you express that feeling? In English, one of the easiest ways to say you're feeling sad is to say, I'm feeling down. When you're down, it's not just about sadness. It could also be about feeling discouraged, low in energy, or just not your usual self. For example, you might say, I'm a bit down today, or she looks so down. Is everything okay with her? It's a word you'll hear often, and it's super useful when talking about emotions. So, if you're ever in a conversation and someone looks a little sad, you could ask, are you okay? You seem down. Simple, right? But what happens when your emotions go deeper, like frustration or anger? We all have times when little things can get under our skin. You know, when someone says something that annoys you, or maybe you're just in a bad mood for no clear reason. In English, we call that feeling grouchy. If you're grouchy, you're not really angry, but you're definitely not in a good mood. It's that feeling when you just don't want to be bothered, and the world seems like it's getting on your nerves. Ever heard the phrase, don't be grouchy? It's often said when someone is snapping at others for no reason. Maybe you've heard it used in TV shows or movies. Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street, for example, is the perfect picture of someone who's always grouchy. So, next time you feel a bit irritated or upset, instead of saying, I'm angry, try saying, I'm feeling a bit grouchy today. It's an easy way to express that you're in a mood but not too upset. But what if the feeling isn't just about being sad or grouchy? What if it's a combination of stress, pressure, or anxiety? Well, in that case, you might be feeling stressed out or on edge. We'll talk more about those feelings soon. Stay with me. So, You've probably heard the term stressed out before. It's a phrase used to describe the feeling of being overwhelmed or anxious, usually when there's too much going on in your life. Imagine having a pile of homework, work deadlines, and family responsibilities all at once. No wonder you'd feel stressed out. For example, you might hear someone say, "I'm so stressed out about this exam." Or maybe, "He's been really stressed out lately with work." In both cases, stressed out means feeling pressure from too many tasks or emotions. But what happens when that stress feels even more intense? When something in your life is so difficult or nerve-wracking that it's hard to keep calm. That's when we use the term nerve-wracking. A nerve-wracking experience is one that makes you feel anxious or worried, like waiting for an important phone call or giving a big presentation. For instance, think about skydiving. Some people would say that's one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of their lives. Or imagine a doctor doing surgery. That's also nerve-wracking because one mistake could have serious consequences. When you feel nervous or uneasy about something, you can say it's nerve-wracking. Maybe you felt on edge before, too. That's a common feeling when you're anxious or worried about something. When someone is on edge, they are easily annoyed or irritated, and it doesn't take much to make them upset. For example, you might say, "She's been on edge all day because of the big interview tomorrow." So, if you're feeling on edge, it means you're tense or anxious. It's like when you're walking around, feeling like you might snap at any moment. If you've ever been in a situation where you felt that way, you know how it can affect your mood and your reactions. But no matter how stressed, nervous, or on edge you feel, it's important to remember that there are ways to deal with it. You don't have to keep those emotions inside. Talking about how you feel, like saying "I'm feeling down" or "I'm stressed out," is the first step to dealing with those emotions in a healthy way. And when you're able to talk about your feelings, it becomes easier to manage them. Now that we've talked about feeling down, stressed out, or on edge, let's focus on how we can help someone who's going through these emotions. Sometimes, when a friend is feeling down or stressed, all they need is a little support or someone to listen to them. But how do you express that you want to help? A great way to start is by offering to cheer someone up. To cheer up means to make someone feel better when they are sad or upset. It's like lifting their spirits and making them smile again. For example, you might say, "Hey, I know you're feeling down, but let's go grab some coffee and talk about it." Or, "Don't worry, things will get better." Cheer up. Cheering someone up doesn't always have to mean doing something big. Sometimes, a simple compliment or a kind word is enough. For instance, if a friend is feeling stressed out about work, you could say, "You've been working really hard. Keep it up. You're doing great." This small gesture can go a long way in helping someone feel better. But what if someone isn't ready to talk or doesn't want to be cheered up? In those cases, it's important to respect their space. You can still say something like, "I'm here for you if you need to talk," or "Take your time, and I'll be here when you're ready." This shows your support without forcing them to open up before they are ready. Let's talk about another way people sometimes react when they're feeling stressed or down. They might brush you off. To brush someone off means to ignore them or push them away, even though they might need support. It's like when someone says, "I'm fine," but you can tell they're not really okay, and they don't want to talk about it. For example, imagine you ask a friend, "Are you okay? You look a little stressed." And they reply, "I'm fine, just busy," then change the subject. They are brushing you off. They don't want to discuss what's really bothering them. It's a common reaction when someone feels overwhelmed and doesn't know how to express their emotions. It can be frustrating when someone brushes you off, but remember that they might just need some time alone to process their feelings. So, don't take it personally. Just let them know you're there for them whenever they are ready to talk. Helping someone feel better when they are down or stressed is all about being patient, kind, and understanding. Whether you're cheering them up, offering a listening ear, or respecting their need for space, your support can make all the difference. As we've seen, emotions like stress, frustration, and feeling down are part of everyone's life. But what happens when those feelings start to take over? What if you find yourself losing your temper or feeling really angry? It's natural to get upset, but the important thing is learning how to handle that anger in a healthy way. One common expression you'll hear when someone gets angry is that they lose their temper. To lose your temper means to suddenly get very angry, often in a way that's hard to control. For example, you might say, "I lost my temper when I found out I had failed the test." Or, "He lost his temper when his team lost the game." It's when your frustration builds up, and suddenly you can't hold it in anymore. If you've ever been in a situation where someone did something to annoy you, maybe they were making noise or being rude, you know how easy it is to lose your temper. It's a common human reaction. But what happens when you blow up? Well, it's not always a good feeling. Losing your temper can cause tension in relationships, make situations worse, and leave you feeling guilty afterward. So, what can you do when you feel your temper rising? The first step is recognizing it before it gets out of control. You might say to yourself, "I'm starting to lose my temper, so I need to take a break." Step away from the situation for a moment to calm down. Maybe count to 10 or take a few deep breaths. This can help prevent things from escalating. Another important expression to know is blow your top. This is another way to say you've lost your temper, and it's often used in more casual conversations. For instance, you might say, "When I saw that my brother had broken my favorite game, I totally blew my top." It's a bit stronger than just saying you're angry, as it suggests an outburst of emotion. But let's face it, there are also moments when someone just gets under your skin, and no matter how hard you try, you still feel like snapping. This is when we say something grinds our gears. If something grinds your gears, it really bothers you or frustrates you, often in a way that makes you angry. For example, "The way she keeps interrupting me really grinds my gears." Or, "The noise from the construction next door is grinding my gears today." Recognizing when something is grinding your gears helps you manage your emotions before they lead to an outburst. If you can spot that frustration early on, you can stop yourself from saying or doing something you'll regret later. What happens when you're the one who's trying to calm someone else down? If you notice that someone is starting to lose their temper, it's important to stay calm yourself. Sometimes, all it takes is listening to them or giving them space to cool off. You might say, "I can see you're upset, but let's talk about this calmly." Or even, "Let's take a deep breath and think things through before we say anything." It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment, but learning to control your anger is key. Anger is normal, but how you express it is what matters most. In the next part, we'll discuss how emotions like frustration and anger affect the way we communicate with others and how we can work on improving those conversations. Now that we've talked about losing our temper and how to manage anger, let's focus on something just as important: how we communicate when we are feeling upset or frustrated. The way we express our emotions can make all the difference in how a conversation goes. If you're angry or stressed, the way you talk to others can either help resolve the issue or make things worse. One key expression we use when we are feeling upset is "I'm really pissed off." This is a stronger way to say that you're extremely angry or upset. For example, "I was really pissed off when I found out they canceled the concert," or "He was pissed off because his flight got delayed." It's a more intense feeling than just saying "I'm angry" or "I'm upset," so be careful when using it. But what if you're trying to express your frustration without being too harsh or offensive? A softer way to communicate is by saying something like, "I'm really upset about this," or "I'm feeling frustrated." These phrases are still honest, but are less likely to make the other person feel attacked. Let's talk about a common situation when you're trying to talk to someone, but they just won't listen. Sometimes, when people are stressed or upset, they don't want to talk, and they might brush you off. To brush someone off means to ignore them or dismiss their feelings. You might say, "I tried to talk to him, but he just brushed me off and didn't want to hear it. It can be really frustrating when someone brushes you off, especially when you just want to help or have a conversation. But it's important to understand that sometimes people need space to process their emotions, and they may not be ready to talk right away. So, when someone brushes you off, try not to take it personally. Instead, give them some time and let them know you're there for them when they are ready to open up. Now, let's shift gears a little and talk about how to talk to someone when they are the ones who are feeling down. If a friend or family member is feeling upset, one of the best things you can do is try to cheer them up. When someone is feeling down, a simple act of kindness or a cheerful word can lift their spirits. You might say, "Hey, I know you're having a tough day, but I'm here for you," or "Let's do something fun to take your mind off things." It's important to be supportive without pushing too hard. If they don't feel like talking or doing something, that's okay. Just knowing that you're there can make a big difference. Cheering someone up doesn't always require big gestures. Sometimes, just being there and listening is all someone needs to feel better. You can also try to make them smile by reminding them of something positive. For example, remember that awesome trip we took last summer? We had such a great time. Little memories like this can help shift their focus from the negative to the positive. Another way to cheer someone up is by offering distractions. Maybe you could suggest watching a funny movie together or going for a walk. Sometimes, doing something different for a while can help break the cycle of negative thinking. But what if the person just wants to be left alone for a while? That's okay too. Some people prefer to process their emotions privately. In these situations, respect their space and let them know you're there for them when they are ready. Let's dive into a tricky situation that many of us face from time to time, dealing with someone who's really difficult to talk to when they are upset. Sometimes, emotions run so high that it seems impossible to get through to them. Whether it's frustration, anger, or sadness, when someone is feeling like this, it can affect the way they communicate, and it can make the conversation feel tense or even uncomfortable. One thing you might notice when someone is in a bad mood is that they start to shut down. When a person shuts down, they stop talking, close themselves off emotionally, or become less responsive. They may not want to engage in a conversation at all. If you've ever had a conversation with someone who isn't answering your questions or giving short, one-word responses, they are shutting down. For example, you might ask, "What's bothering you?" and they just reply, "Nothing," or "I don't want to talk about it." It can be frustrating, especially if you want to help, but sometimes people need time to process their emotions before they are ready to open up. In these cases, it's important to give them some space and not push too hard. But how do you handle it when someone is shutting you out? First, try not to take it personally. It's not necessarily about you. It's more about how they are feeling in that moment. You can say something like, "I can see you upset, and I'm here when you're ready to talk." This shows empathy and lets them know you care, but you're not forcing them to talk before they are ready. Another thing to keep in mind is that when someone is upset, they might be feeling on edge. When you're on edge, everything feels like it's a little more tense than usual. Small things can set you off, and you might snap at others without meaning to. For example, you might say, "Why are you so on edge today?" when someone seems easily irritated. It's a good way to describe someone who's extra sensitive or quick to react because they are feeling anxious or stressed. When someone is on edge, it's helpful to stay calm and not react to their mood with more frustration. Instead, try to offer a calm and understanding presence. You could say, "I can tell something's bothering you, and I'm here if you want to talk." Or, "It's okay to feel upset. Just remember I'm here to support you." Dealing with emotions like frustration or anger is never easy, but learning how to stay calm, patient, and understanding is a key part of managing these feelings. It's also important to recognize when it's the right time to talk and when it's better to give someone space. If you're the one who's feeling on edge or upset, take a moment to step back and think about what's really bothering you. Sometimes just recognizing the root of the problem can help you feel more in control of your emotions. In the last part, we touched on how emotions can affect the way we communicate with others, especially when we are feeling on edge or frustrated. Now, let's talk about how to manage those feelings when they are really pushing you to your limits. How do you keep your cool when emotions are running high, and when the people around you are also feeling stressed or upset? First, let's consider a common phrase used when we are really angry or upset: blow your top. This is another way of saying that you lost your temper. When you blow your top, you reach a breaking point, and all your frustration or anger comes out suddenly. For example, I tried to stay calm, but I blew my top when I found out I was being blamed for something I didn't do. But the key to handling moments like these is learning how to stop before you reach that point. Recognizing that you're about to blow your top is the first step. When you feel your frustration building, take a step back and breathe. A quick break or a moment of silence can help you gain perspective and calm down before reacting. Another important thing to understand is that not every situation requires you to speak up or react right away. Sometimes, it's better to give yourself a moment to think things through. If you're in a heated conversation, saying something like, "I need a minute to think," can be very helpful. It shows that you want to process your emotions calmly before responding. On the flip side, when you're talking to someone who is upset or about to blow their top, it's important to remain calm yourself. If you react with more anger, it will only escalate the situation. Instead, try to stay grounded and speak in a calm, neutral tone. For example, "I understand that you're upset. Let's talk this through when we are both calm." This can help de-escalate the tension and bring the conversation back to a place of understanding. One thing to keep in mind is that stress and frustration can often cloud our judgment. When we are angry, we tend to focus on the negative aspects of the situation and forget about solutions or compromises. That's why it's crucial to ask yourself, what's the real issue here? Once you identify the root of the problem, it becomes easier to approach the situation with a level head and find a way to solve it. Another helpful tool in managing emotions is practicing empathy. Empathy means understanding and sharing the feelings of another person. When you empathize with someone, you put yourself in their shoes and try to see things from their perspective. For example, if a friend is upset about a problem at work, instead of dismissing their feelings, say something like, "I can see why you'd be stressed out." That sounds like a tough situation. Empathy doesn't just help you relate to others, but it also helps to calm your own emotions. When you understand why someone feels a certain way, it's easier to remain patient and compassionate. Now that we've covered how to manage stress, frustration, and anger, let's talk about some practical strategies for staying calm and composed in the most stressful situations. Whether it's a busy day at work, a disagreement with a friend, or just feeling overwhelmed by life in general, there are ways to handle these moments without losing control. One of the best techniques for dealing with stress is deep breathing. It's a simple yet powerful tool that can help you center yourself and calm your mind. When you're feeling tense or anxious, try taking a few deep breaths in through your nose, holding for a few seconds, and then exhaling slowly through your mouth. This helps lower your heart rate and relax your body. You can do this anywhere, whether you're sitting at your desk, waiting in line, or even during a tense conversation. Another effective way to manage stress is through positive self-talk. Often, when we are stressed or upset, we can become our own worst critics. We might think things like, "I can't handle this," or "this is too much for me." But changing those negative thoughts into positive affirmations can help shift your mindset. Try saying something like, "I can handle this. I've been through tough situations before, and I'll get through this too." It's amazing how much a simple change in language can help you feel more empowered and less overwhelmed. Exercise is another great way to release built-up stress. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. Even a quick walk around the block or some light stretching can make a big difference in how you feel. If you're feeling frustrated or down, try moving your body to shake off that tension. It doesn't have to be intense. Just get your blood flowing and clear your mind for a moment. And let's not forget about the power of humor. When things feel overwhelming, sometimes a good laugh can be the best medicine. Laughter helps release tension and lower stress levels. It can also improve your mood and make you feel more positive. If you're feeling stressed, try watching a funny video or talking to a friend who always knows how to make you laugh. Laughter doesn't solve everything, but it can certainly lighten the mood. When you're dealing with difficult emotions, it's important to remember that everyone goes through tough times. You're not alone in feeling stressed, anxious, or down. Acknowledging that these emotions are normal and part of being human can help take some of the pressure off. You don't have to feel like you have to fix everything immediately. Sometimes, simply giving yourself permission to feel how you feel is the first step toward healing. In situations where you're dealing with a loved one who is feeling stressed or upset, it's important to listen without judgment. Sometimes, all someone needs is to be heard. You don't always have to have the answers, but showing that you care and are there to listen can make all the difference. You can say things like, "I understand this is hard for you," or "I'm here for you, and we'll get through this together." And if things are really tough, don't be afraid to ask for help. Talking to a friend, a family member, or even a professional can provide a fresh perspective and offer guidance on how to manage your emotions better. You don't have to handle everything on your own, and seeking help shows strength, not weakness. As we come to the end of our journey through emotions, stress, and how we handle them, it's important to remember that emotions are a natural part of life. No one is always happy, calm, or in control. We all have moments when we feel down, stressed, angry, or even overwhelmed. But the key is learning how to manage those feelings and use them as a stepping stone toward personal growth. One of the most important things we've discussed is how to express your emotions in healthy, constructive ways. Whether you're feeling down, stressed, or angry, there are always ways to communicate that without letting those emotions take over. Remember, it's okay to say, "I'm feeling down today," or "I'm stressed out," but it's also important to ask for help or take time for yourself when you need it. When you're talking to someone who's upset, listening with empathy and offering support is crucial. You don't always need to have the answers, but just being there for someone and offering a kind word can help them feel less alone. Sometimes, all someone needs is to hear, "I'm here for you," or "You're not alone in this." We've also learned that emotions like frustration and anger don't have to lead to conflict. Using phrases like "I'm feeling frustrated right now" or "let's take a break and talk later" can help prevent you from saying things you might regret in the heat of the moment. Staying calm and recognizing when you need space to cool down can make a huge difference in how you deal with challenging situations. And remember, when you're feeling stressed or upset, take a moment for yourself. Whether it's deep breathing, exercise, or just stepping away from the situation, taking time to reset can help you come back with a clearer head. You don't have to solve everything immediately, and sometimes giving yourself that moment of peace can be the most powerful thing you can do. Finally, it's important to be kind to yourself. We all have tough days, and it's okay to feel down or frustrated. Don't beat yourself up for it. Acknowledge how you feel, take care of yourself, and know that tomorrow is a new day. You have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Thank you for being a part of the English Podcast Zone today. I hope you've learned something useful and feel more confident in expressing your emotions in English. Remember, every emotion is valid, and with the right tools, you can handle anything that comes your way. Take care and keep practicing your English.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Carrie, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I just got off the phone with my boyfriend. He's always getting upset and losing his temper over nothing. It's so hard to talk to him at times.
Maybe it's just that he's stressed out from working or something. He does have a pretty nerve-wracking job, you know.
Yeah, but he's always in a really foul mood. I tried to find out what's bothering him or get him to talk about his day, but he always shuts down and brushes me off.
Men are like that, you know. They can feel nervous, anxious, or on edge, and the only way they can express it is by trying to hide it through aggressiveness.
I guess you're right. What do you think I should do? He wasn't always this grouchy, you know.
Talk to him, try to cheer him up when he's down, and if that doesn't work, I say get rid of him and get a new one.
You are something else, you know that.
All right, great. So now that we're back, we can start with a couple of different phrases now on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so Marco, here's the big question. What makes you lose your temper?
I think what makes me lose my temper very, very easily is like a dirty house or like a dirty room.
Really? You're a neat freak.
Not really neat freak, but like if it's not at least semi clean, you know, it really bothers me.
Okay, so this great phrase, lose your temper or lose one's temper, is a phrase we use in English to describe getting angry. All right, so maybe you're okay, you're a little frustrated with something, but someone does something like throws all of their clothes on the floor. And Marco here says, oh, that's it. I'm tired of this. You're always throwing your clothes on the floor. And that's an example of Marco losing his temper.
What about you? What makes you lose your temper?
You hear this?
What is that? Oh, drilling? Construction?
When
hammering?
people tap, 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 or when they like stomp their feet, or
like when they're nervous.
When they make noise, yeah. And so slowly it's like, okay, fine, calm down. It's okay. Okay, no, seriously, stop it. Seriously. And then all of a sudden, I just can't stand it
You
anymore.
explode.
Exactly. So
All right, so that's what makes you lose your temper. I'll be sure to keep my eye out for that and not tap my
Please
pen.
don't.
All right. So okay, you lose your temper, and now there are situations sometimes where you need to brush someone off.
all right, or when you get brushed off, and that's not very good
Yeah.
feeling. But this phrase, to brush someone off, you've heard the word brush before. It's the word that we use to brush your hair or
Your
brush your teeth. Exactly. When you brush someone off, it's like saying that you're ignoring them.
Yeah, so you ignore them, or you basically tell them to go away very subtly sometimes, or very directly.
Exactly. And so to brush someone off is to avoid their company. And so a lot of times when people are angry, they like to be alone. So they brush you off. Mm-hmm. So I could say, hey, did you want to go see that movie tonight?
No, I can't. I have to do something tonight.
And then Marco walks away while we're talking. He's brushing me off. He's ignoring me.
Yeah. So it happens. And also maybe some people can make up excuses, and that's also brushing someone off, right?
Right, exactly. So to brush someone off, or he brushed me off, doesn't feel good.
All right. And well, all of these bad feelings, brushing somebody off, maybe you feel stressed out. In the end, you always need a good friend to cheer you up, right? And that's what this dialogue is all about.
Exactly. And so friends are actually the people that do that the best, or family, I think. And, well, we can break this phrase down because most of it's pretty clear. But cheer might be a new word for some of our listeners.
Yeah, maybe we've heard of the term cheerleader. You know, like, give me an A, give me a B.
Hey.
So
Or
cheer, or people
cheers.
cheering. Or cheers when the beer,
clink.
yeah.
So cheer is like happiness. So someone who can cheer you up is someone who makes you happy.
Happy
Remember
again.
that down we had earlier? I'm feeling down. We're trying to cheer someone up. We're trying to make them go up and be happy.
Exactly. So you want to cheer up your friends, or maybe if you're feeling a bit down, a family member will try and cheer you up.
Do you need someone to cheer you up, Marco?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's go have a drink and eat some popcorn and be cheered up.
That's what cheers me up. Or chocolate always cheers me up.
Oh, I know where there's some of that.
All right, so we've taken a look at a lot of great phrases, but the last sentence of the dialogue is maybe a little bit strange, right? When she says, "You are something else." You know that?
Something what? Like
Is she an
monkey?
alien? Is she a monkey? What does she mean when she says, "You are something else"?
That's a great question. Well, this might be a little bit hard to understand at first, but she's saying, I can't believe you. Mm-hmm. She's like, there's no one like you. You're really something else, you know that? So it's kind of like a joke, but what she's saying is, I can't believe you. You just want to go on and encourage me to find another boy. You're unbelievable.
So it could be, is it on a positive note, or can it be both positive and negative?
Well, here we've got two friends who are using it, so it's a positive note, but she's kind of making fun of her, saying, I can't believe you. But it can be
Negative?
It can be
if
more
you're
negative.
Fighting with her boyfriend and her boyfriend cheats on her and she's like, oh, you're really something else, you know?
You are something else. You know that? It's like, there's no comparison. You're the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it really depends on how this is used and what the tone of voice is, so how someone says it. But in this case, I think it's kind of a joke, but it's a positive
Right.
meaning.
Very interesting. It's very spoken English, as you say, because all the words that we see there, they're pretty simple, but the context or the connotation, the meaning is very, very different from the actual words, right?
Exactly.
All right, so let's listen to this dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Carrie, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I just got off the phone with my boyfriend. He's always getting upset and losing his temper over nothing. It's so hard to talk to him at times.
Maybe it's just that he's stressed out from working or something. He does have a pretty nerve-wracking job, you know.
Yeah, but he's always in a really foul mood. I tried to find out what's bothering him or get him to talk about his day, but he always shuts down and brushes me off.
Men are like that, you know. They can feel nervous, anxious, or on edge, and the only way they can express it is by trying to hide it through aggressiveness.
I guess you're right. What do you think I should do? He wasn't always this grouchy, you know.
Talk to him, try to cheer him up when he's down, and if that doesn't work, I say get rid of him and get a new one.
You are something else, you know that.
So, Catherine, are you a grouchy person? Are you happy? Do you have a bad temper?
Oh, these are, well, very interesting questions, Marco. Thank you for asking. No, the first time, am I grouchy? No, not very. Only before 9 a.m.
You're not a morning person.
Not a morning person, so I'm very grouchy in the morning. But I'm generally pretty good about losing my temper. It doesn't happen very often.
Oh, really?
But I do get frustrated with things like tapping or when people eat with their mouth open.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. I hate that as well.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Or I really don't like when people bite their nails.
Ooh,
It's kind of, it also makes me lose my temper. I don't know, it more than makes me lose my temper, it's kind of annoying, right?
It is annoying. So what makes you really lose your temper? We say, what makes you blow your top? Think about a volcano.
Really grinds my gears.
Yeah.
I would say the worst is when somebody lies to me, like
Oh,
straight in
man.
my face. Like, I know they're lying, I know you're lying, and they still just lie straight at me.
I agree. So what's something that really cheers you up? Because we talked about like going out with a friend maybe helps you cheer up. But is there one thing, some kind of remedy?
I like to go shopping when I'm feeling a
Really?
bit sad. Yeah. I mean, I won't buy anything like clothes or anything like that. Usually I'll get maybe something for somebody else or for the house or something like that. It's very strange.
Helps you like clear your mind.
Yeah, it's just like walking around and spending a little bit of money. I don't know. It's kind of a good remedy.
Yeah, I think so.
What about you? What cheers you up?
I kind of like to organize things.
Really?
Yeah. So if I'm really angry or really upset about something, I'll alphabetize all of my books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So A to Z.
Wow. See, everyone has different remedies. So come to our website, EnglishPod.com. Tell us what makes you angry, what makes you lose your temper, or what really cheers you up, what makes you
Or
happy.
Who cheers you up? So tell us, who is someone you like to talk to when you're upset, and how do they cheer you up?
All right. We'll see you guys there. And also, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, you can also leave them there in our comment section.
Please do that. So that's all for today. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Feeling sad, not happy.
Down in the dumps.
Sad or unhappy.
Down.
Having sad feelings or emotions.
Have the blues.
To feel very worried or anxious.
Stress out.
To fluster, unnerve.
Rattled.
Causing a person to feel very nervous.
Nerve-wracking.
Makes me angry, upsets me.
Grinds my gears.
Refuse to talk about something with someone.
Brush me off.
Upset, very angry.
Pissed off.
To make someone happier.
Cheer up.
Let's try that faster. Causing a person to feel very nervous.
Nerve-wracking.
Sad or unhappy.
Down.
Having sad feelings or emotions.
Have the blues.
Refuse to talk about something with someone.
Brush me off.
Upset, very angry.
Pissed off.
Feeling sad, not happy.
Down in the dumps.
To fluster, unnerve.
Rattled.
Makes me angry, upsets me.
Grinds my gears.
To make someone happier.
Cheer up.
To feel very worried or anxious.
Stress out.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Down. Ben is feeling a bit down today since his girlfriend broke up with him. Down. Are you okay? You seem down today. Down. Whenever I'm feeling down, I go out with my friends and then I feel much better. Stress out. David has been really stressed out lately. His boss is putting a lot of pressure on him in his new job. Stress out. I can't talk right now. I'm stressed out about this exam I have tomorrow. If I don't pass it, my dad is going to kill me. Stress out. Are you okay? You seem to be really stressed out lately. What's going on? Nerve-wracking. I think being a doctor is one of the most nerve-wracking jobs in the world. Nerve-wracking. Skydiving was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of my life. I almost had a heart attack. Nerve-wracking. The final match between Brazil and Italy was incredibly nerve-wracking. Brush me off. When she told me my project would be a better television film than a feature film, I thought she was brushing me off. Brush me off. I asked her out on a date many times, but she always brushed me off, making up some excuse. Brush me off. Carolyn went to the doctor without an appointment, and the receptionist brushed her off and told her to come back the next day. Cheer up. I hate it when people try to cheer me up when I feel sad. I just want to be left alone. Cheer up. I don't know what else to do. I've tried everything to cheer Mandy up, but she won't stop crying. Cheer up. You know what really cheers me up when I'm sad? Shopping.